You know, I do want to thank all of you who were involved in campaigns this last year. From the bottom of my heart, I really figured I'd be 3,000 miles away from here today. But it's a pleasure to be here nonetheless. You know, we didn't get where we are in this country overnight. And there's plenty of blame to go around. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think there's any doubt either that we are in a battle here, a battle of two very different philosophies, the outcome of which will either ensure the republic or fundamentally change America. We're living with the consequences of fiscal irresponsibility brought on by politicians who either forgot or just flat ignored the limitations of the Constitution on government. That government was instituted among men to secure our God-given rights. Instead, they thought that keeping the majority and keeping their power was their job, and they increased government programs because, frankly, they don't believe in we the people. They believe government is the answer, and bigger government, frankly, to our social ills. And frankly, some still don't get it. They think they want to get in your pocket again and tax you a little more so they can spend us into prosperity. Well, it has never worked, and it's not going to work this time. The fact of the matter is, the game is over at virtually every level of government. We are broke. It's just that simple. On the contrary, our message is a message of limited government, our God-given rights of the individual, personal responsibility, free market principles, fiscal responsibility, in short, an adherence to constitutional principles. We have reached a critical juncture in the history of this nation. The expectations of government must change. Government can simply not be everything to everybody, nor was it ever designed to be. Nonetheless, our progressive and liberal adversaries have continually ignored those warnings, and government has grown out of control, and our debt has become absolutely burdensome to us and to future generations. We're certainly in for some significant challenges in America, but I believe we, the people, can turn things around. We need to elect people who will make decisions not out of political expediency, not driven by partisan politics or the need for greater power or personal notoriety. We need people who will be straight with Americans, who will stop lying to Americans. We need people who will do the right thing because they're motivated for the love of liberty, the love of this country, by the citizens that elect them, and frankly, because it's the right thing to do. We're going to learn a lot about ourselves in this next election as Americans, because we know there are no easy answers or simple solutions to our problems at this point. We're going to feel it. We know we're all going to sacrifice it a little bit as we try to get back on track out of our fiscal stupor and face reality, as we strive to allow free markets to work, as we move towards personal responsibility and accountability and away from dependence on big government. Consequently, we must also understand that truly limiting government and greater liberty means that you and I must be willing to accept greater responsibility in our society, to our families, to our friends, and to our neighbors. In this next election cycle, we're going to see if the majority of the people will endure a little pain and accept responsibility for their own lives. Or, if we're not willing to stay the course, go back to what we've been doing, which I think will be the demise of the Republic. The solutions for America are found in we the people, in our fundamental belief that we're all created equal and their rights come from God, not government, in the genius, in the goodness, in the ingenuity, in the innovation of the American people, not in government programs, within the confines of liberty, not in the chains of socialism, and that while we're individually unique, we're all united as Americans. This is our message. The question I've been asked pretty frequently is, we're so far down this path, can we ever get it back? Can we get our country back on track? And frankly, there's some fatalists out there that think we're so far gone, there is no way back. I don't believe that for a second. Not for a second. America is still that shining light on the hill. The founding fathers who believed in this great experiment of self-government, who gave us a Republican form of government, our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution, and those who have bled and fought, and some paid the ultimate sacrifice, and those who stand on the wall for you and I to today to defend our freedoms, gave us the means to preserve it. But all of that is only political theory and words on paper and lost history if we do nothing. Somebody said, we can't sit in our Tea Party posteriors here and not do anything. We can't. The 2010 elections were only the beginning.
Amen.
They're only the beginning. And we can't let up for a second, because you know something? The left never does. They never sleep. They continue to push their agendas. I love this country. I believe in we the people, and frankly, I believe unapologetically in American exceptionalism and the greatness of this nation. And you know, it may take a bit of a miracle to bring us back, but I believe in miracles. And I believe our founding fathers believed in miracles. And they were willing to pay the great sacrifices. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors. And you know something? They weren't a bunch of rich people that came out the other end richer. They were a bunch of people who sacrificed, a lot of them, their lives and their fortunes, but never their sacred honors. America is worth fighting for, and you know something? She's still worth dying for. And I, for one, will never, never, never give up on her. I want to thank you again for this opportunity. I want to encourage you to stay engaged. We have moved this debate to the right. We have moved it in the right direction. But we mustn't stop. We must continue to fight the good fight. We must stay the course. And, you know, James says he's running again. I want to thank you for your support. You know, I'm thinking seriously, I'll be making an announcement as well soon.
Please
Thanks,
do.
James. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Okay, go ahead. All right, I asked Charlie for 1 minute before he wraps up. Some of you probably didn't apply adequate sunscreen for today, so we want to get you out of here. I used to teach 6th grade, and I want to reiterate, education is the most important thing we can offer. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people out of there that need some math re-educating. So I want you to keep this thought in mind. This is what I told 6th graders. You go to the window and you throw a dollar bill out the window every minute. It's going to take you about 11 and a half days to throw away $1 million. I'd ask them, how long would it take to throw away $1 billion? And it became painfully obvious they had no clue. Now, after the lesson, I hope some of them became conservative, and some of them may have forgotten the lesson and gone the other direction. But $1 billion, you throw it away, one bill every minute, is going to take you nearly 32 years. Now, I'm convinced there are a lot of people listening to the news get all the illions mixed up, and I wish Fox would put all the zeros up there as they're comparing 6.2 trillion to the 38.5 billion, so they could see the difference in the number of zeros. But if they needed to throw away $1 trillion, it would take them 31,710 years roughly.
Wow.
So just keep that in mind, that discrepancy. And when you're talking with people that need to be educated about math, don't assume that they know the difference. Please point it out to them. Thank you.
Thank you.